Hi everybody, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. And today I have a video for you guys that I am so excited for. I've been waiting to do this for so long, and it is finally time to read the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. I am a huge Stephen King fan. I haven't read everything that he's done. I've been on a journey to read everything, but I have enjoyed probably 85% of the stuff that I have read. And I really enjoy his style a lot. I like that a lot of his books are long and I can really get invested in them. And I have wanted to read the Dark Tower series for so long because so many people rave about it and talk about how amazing it is and how it's like the best writing that he's ever had. But I have waited. And the biggest reason for why I have waited is because I keep being told that I need to read other things first. So it's like I had somebody tell me that I needed to read Insomnia first, that I needed to read The Stand first, The Talisman, Black House, It's like I've had people telling me I have to read all these things before I read the series. And it started getting a little overwhelming to me, the number of things that I needed to read first. So with Insomnia, I'll be honest, I didn't really care for that one. That's probably one of my least favorite books that I've ever read, by him, at least. And when I read that one, like, I took a long break because I was scared that I was like, I didn't like this one, and if it's tied to the Dark Tower series, I'm not going to like that. So I really put it off for the longest time, and then I really started to get interested again, and people were telling me that I needed to read The Stand, and I'll be honest with you, I have not been able to finish The Stand. I have started it like 4 times. I can't get through it. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm just not reading it at the right time in my life, but I struggle with that one a little bit. I have read it, and I haven't got to The Talisman or Black House yet, but I do own them. But I started really thinking probably a couple of months ago that I'm like, you know what? I want to read The Dark Tower. And the way that I kind of look at it is, if those books were so important to the Dark Tower series, they would technically be a part of the series, and they're not. So I'm thinking that there's probably just random tie-ins that it could be beneficial to read them first, but it's not really a requirement. So I have made the executive decision to just jump into the series because I'm starting to feel like I'm never going to get to it, and I really want to get to it. I don't want to wait anymore. So I will be reading The Gunslinger, and I honestly don't know a ton about the series. I purposely have avoided spoilery type videos, so it's like if I'm watching a video and somebody starts talking about it, if they give any more than the most generic of information, I click off because I don't want to be spoiled. I do know a few characters' names, like Jack Sawyer. I know I've specifically heard that in relation to the Dark Tower series before, and it's like, it sounds sci-fi-esque, so I'm kind of expecting like a sci-fi or like a dystopian world is the impression that I've gotten from the little bits that I have heard. So that's kind of what I'm thinking at this point. And by the title of this first book, The Gunslinger, I'm also getting like impression that there's probably going to be some Western themes thrown in there too. So I am really excited to jump into this, and so I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I will update you guys here in a little bit. You guys, The Gunslinger. I am 114 pages in, and it's an experience. I can definitely say that much. It is definitely an experience. The first, like, chapter or part, I don't know what necessarily they call it, titled the Gunslinger. I wasn't crazy about that section because I really didn't understand what was going on. I felt like I was coming into something right in the middle. Um, Basically, we have the Gunslinger is trying to track down the Man in Black. Who the Man in Black is, I'm not really clear as of yet. But basically, he ends up having to wipe out this entire town because they believe he is an interloper and there to harm them, and they begin to attack him, so he has to therefore attack them. And that whole little bit, it was very well written and it was intriguing. Like, I wanted to know what was going on. I just didn't really understand what was going on. And I'll be honest, I even checked to make sure this really was the first book because I felt like I had missed something. Um, However, the part that I'm in now, the way station, I'm enjoying a lot more. Our Gunslinger has just met a young boy named Jake, and he seems to be a very likable character at this point. I'm interested in him. He is going into his backstory, what he remembers from before all of this happened, and it is making me think that I was right. This is some sort of a dystopian world, and I am very, very interested to see what is actually going on, and I'm hoping that the Gunslinger takes Jake along with him because the thought of this poor 9-year-old boy out there in this cruel, cruel world by himself really, really upsets my heart a whole lot. So I'm hoping that he kind of takes him on, although I know that the responsibility of a child is probably not what he needs right now. This is just personally what I'm hoping for. So fingers crossed, and I will get back to you. So I am 238 pages into the Gunslinger, and I gotta say, I am really, really enjoying this. I have seen in a lot of places where people said the Gunslinger wasn't the best in the series, but you just had to push through. But I really like this. So if this is the weakest one, I'm sure I'm going to be in for a wild, wild ride with all of the others, and that is so exciting to me. So at this point in the story, we are getting some of our Gunslinger's backstory, and he is fighting Court, which is who trained him, I believe. And I'm really loving his dynamic with Jake. I have wondered a couple of times, but I don't know if I'm just grasping at straws, if the Man in Black is actually somebody from his past, like from the flashback sequences. I'm wondering almost if it's Cuthbert. Like, it's just like their reactions to things that were going on were so different, and I feel like that would be a twist if it was, but I'm not 100% sold on it, but the thought has crossed my mind. I think that would be very interesting. But I'm loving the backstories, getting their backstories. I love their relationship dynamic. It kind of seems like he's intending to sacrifice Jake. I don't know if I am reading that correctly, and I hope that's not the case because I really, really like their dynamic. And Jake is such a sweet, sweet boy, and I really do get the impression that our Gunslinger cares about him a lot. So why he would want to sacrifice him, I'm not entirely sure. I'm so confused on that, but there have been a couple of comments here and there about that have just made me think that, like, he was called a sacrifice at one point, and then when they meet up with the Man in Black briefly, Jake's like begging him to turn around, and he's like, "No, we're not going to turn around." He's like, "You're going to kill me." So stuff like that is making me think, is he going to sacrifice him? But why? Like, why would this 9-year-old child need to be sacrificed? I don't know if I've missed something or if I'm just completely reading the cues wrong, but Regardless, I'm really enjoying this. It is written very, very, very well. It's so engaging. But I'm going to jump in, finish it, because I'm very, very close to the end. Probably about, I'd say maybe 70 pages. And I'll check in with you at the ending. Here's another comment yet again. Am I readying to throw this boy at the man in black? So, despite him really, really liking Jake, at one point in the book he said he loved him, he's going to use him against the man in black. But why? Why? I don't get it. Jake's really, really smart. He literally just said, I know what I am to you. A poker chip. Doesn't seem to be far off the mark. My heart is aching for Jake so much. So they just found the mummy at the train station, and they're talking. And he knows. Jake knows. And it hurts my heart because it's like he literally says here, "You made a deal. I know you did." So he knows that he's a pawn. But he continues to go with the gunslinger anyway. And I think that's because he was by himself for so long that the companionship is better than nothing. But how awful would that be to know that somebody is planning on using you? It's, oh, this poor kid. Is the Man in Black court? Like, this whole thing? You just told him to renege? Which is the same thing Court said when he challenged him? I don't know. Maybe. Okay, so I just finished The Gunslinger. What an ending. Having the talk with the Man in Black and then waking up in a pile of bones, which I'm assuming is Walter. But then the thing that I'm confused about is was Jake actually sacrificed, or did I miss something? Was I reading it wrong? He wasn't there at the end. So I'm assuming he was taken, but is he dead or is he alive? Like, I don't really know what's going on. I'm very interested for the next book. I hope to see more of Jake. He was my favorite character. I'm kind of mixed on the Gunslinger. He does things that I really like, and then he does things that I don't like. I don't know if he's a villain or not. I can't tell. But This was a very fun journey, and I can't wait to keep on going. I do have a question for you guys. The Wind Through the Keyhole. I know that's like a special book, but where in the series is that meant to be read? Is it supposed to be at a certain point? Because everything that I've looked up, it always says like 0.4 or 0.8 or something like that. I'm like, that doesn't tell me when to read it. So when should I read Wind Through the Keyhole? But that is all that I have for you guys today. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, follow me on the social medias, click that bell if you want to be notified of all of my upcoming videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.